Saturday in the studio, come on in. Lisa and Dave, let the fun begin. Grab your stamps, your paper, your glue. We've got crafty inspiration just for you. Colors and layers, memories to keep. Laughing and creating joy runs deep. Cards and pages made with heart. Let's make some magic. Let's make some.
Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to the Stamper Studio. My name is Lisa Schmidt and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I'm excited to celebrate a little bit of spring with you on this cold morning. Minnesota's having another little cold snap. And so, you know, the weather gets a little bit nicer, like, oh, spring's on the horizon, and boom, it's cold again. So, but that's okay.
Hi, Tina.
So I can't see any of the comments. Our son and grandkids went skiing yesterday, so they had a good time with that. And yeah, is it possible to see the comments?
Are you?
Nothing there. All right. So I want to make sure that you have the mini catalog. So if you don't have it, it goes from January to April. So feel free to let me know. I know somebody in the chat put that they wanted one. Go ahead and email me or message me, and I'll get one sent out to you. All right, let's come on down, and then we'll finish with that. Oops, I don't know that we're on. No signal.
We are.
Okay.
Just the monitor. Keep talking.
All right, so we're gonna go. We're gonna come on down first, and then we're gonna. There it is. Thanks, Dave. Now I can see everything like it normally looks. So mini catalog, January through April. And I just don't remember if this stamp set that I'm going to use today is in here. Yes, it is. Yay. I was thinking it was in here.
Hi, Heidi. Hi, Terry.
You know, there's a lot that comes out now, and so it's kind of hard to keep track of where things are. Anyway,
checking in.
Hi, friends. There we go. I like to be able to see. I like to be able to see your comments. All right, so I'm going to use this Sunshine and Tulips again. I had made a couple cards with it before, and don't look too closely, but I'm going to make that. So it's super fun, super easy. I was just noticing that this is really fun with the stamped tulips. So we'll take a look and see at some other things as well. Here are our dies. The main die is this, the big die. So this die, when you die cut it, makes a shape just like this on this side. So it makes this really fun shape with all these tulips. And as you continue to die cut, you end up with lots of tulips. So kind of fun. We're going to put
tulip shaker card someday.
Yeah, I know, right? Wouldn't that be fun? So I am going to start. I'm going to start with this, but before I do that, I'm going to stamp on it, because you know you can always turn it over if you don't stamp correctly or however you want. I'm sure we'll be fine. But so this is one of my favorite colors, Granny Apple Green. And so I'm going to add a little bit of detail before I even start stamping. I just need to find the stamps, and I'm going to get situated. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. So with the stamps, I am going to use the leaves. So the leaves are right here. And we're going to add a little bit of dimension to this. And this is really just a single cut through. One goes through. I did try to cut two. Shocker, I know. Two, it would make the impression, which would be cool for a background, but it didn't cut it out. So if you wanted it actually cut out, you would want to do that. So Granny Apple Green, and I am going to stamp off a few times. Let me get this little notepad here so we can stamp and stamp off. All right, using the mat because I am using photopolymer, and I'm just going to give these a little bit of dimension. So some of them are going to be lighter. I know, don't pass out. I'm trying to be random. If you know anything about me, I'm not random. I try so hard, but it ends up being a pattern. Just the way it is. I'm actually going to make that one dark. See, got to have my pattern. So now I can see them a little bit better. Just to give a little dimension, I didn't do this on the first time I made these cards because I didn't really think about the fact that these tulips would look really nice with a little bit of green on them. So granny apple green, just giving that a little bit of dimension on those. And these tulips actually, I mean, the petals, leaves actually do pop up a little bit, which is kind of fun. They pop up all the way a few. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. All right, let's go ahead. And before I continue on, Dave, I'm going to have you look up twine, because I do have our linen thread here also, but we have had twine that was yellow, light blue, and coral in a packet. I don't know if that's still current, so I'm going to use the yellow, but you certainly could use regular twine as well. I'm going to go 2 times around, I think. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think I'll go 1 more round, give it a little bit more.
We still have the Baker's Essential pack,
Okay.
which has the 5 colors.
Gotcha.
We also have the linen thread pack that has early espresso and old olive.
Got it. Okay.
Or the black and white and gold. That one's
nice.
Really pretty.
Oh, that is
like
pretty.
that
and
one.
the red and currently unavailable. But we have it.
We
All
have
right.
it, but
Currently
we don't have
it. Right. We have it. Oopsie. Thought I was tying a knot there, but we don't have it. Well, I could switch this out for linen thread, but you know what? I am going to use the yellow. So sorry. I was going to check and then I didn't. I thought, well, Dave will just check, and there we go. I think it came out with a balloon set, so not surprising that it's a little bit older, but I keep my twine. I love the twine. So I like to use it on lots of things. All right, I'm going to tie a knot before I even try to tie a bow, because the twine is pretty slippery, whether you're using the linen thread or any kind of twine. So I'm going to, now I can tie a little bow here, but I wanted to stamp and I wanted to put the twine on before I stuck it on. Those of you who know anything about me should be so proud. The bar is a little low, but so proud. I usually stick things on and peel them off. And so I actually had some forethought here and decided to do it first. Woohoo! All right. So there we are with that. And I'll just cut these a little bit. And at first when I saw this, I was like, wow, that's a lot of tulips, but it is very pretty. I am going to use Very Vanilla just as a background. And this is just my standard half sheet, scored at 4 1/4. And I am going to pop this up. Let's see. I'm going to flip it over, see if I get a better. One of my corners is a little bit off. I don't like that. So
Morning, Cheryl.
Just going to fix that. Hi, Cheryl. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this up just a little. Well, you could either put this down and pop up the tulips, or I think I'll do that. You could do it either way. Maybe I'll pop this up. I don't know. What should I do? So many decisions. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up, and then we'll have a little bit of shadow on our tulips. So let me grab some of my, those aren't them. Some of my dimensionals, which are right here. Sometimes I take the strips and I cut them so that I have smaller pieces. I don't always have to use a full piece. And so there's plenty. So I feel like, well, if I just cut it a little bit, I'm good. So we don't need it all over, but I'm going to use 4 here. And here, like that. And if we need more, what do you know? I can always tuck them under, right? So let's get rid of that, and that. How was your week, friends? Oh, thanks, Mary Jo. So proud. How was your week, friends? Do anything fun or exciting? At school, we are almost ready to launch our coffee shop. We did make 2 cups of coffee this week and surprised 2 staff members. I got to turn this sideways so I can see it and center it better, because I feel like I'm not centered. I got stuff sticking all over me. So our 4th grade class has a coffee cart, which is very, very fun.
And the name this year is Sip Sip Hooray.
Sip Sip Hooray. Last year was Brewed Awakenings. This year is Sip Sip Hooray. Okay, I like that that's popped up. I'm glad I made that decision. Okay, so now we're going to put in some tulips, but the tulips are going to be in Calypso Coral and Berry Burst and Lemon Lolly. We're going to do some things with some tulips and some we're going to leave plain. So I'm going to start with the plain ones and just grab my adhesive and just pop it in there. I could just put a glue dot in there and stick it in. Maybe that would be or glue, a little bit of glue. Maybe I'll do that. It's kind of easier because I can just drop it in there. Okay, so I'm going to start with my yellows, my lemon lolly, and my lemon lollies are just going to be plain. Random, not random. So let's just pop that in there. And I'm going to use my take your pick so I can get that centered. And that's the other thing with that kind of glue, the Tombow adhesive glue, you can move it around a little bit, which is great. All right, let's pop one in here. Like that. Oh, I like it. I like that you can move them. We'll put another one here where I put my glue dot. Feels like there's two here, which would be surprising, but feels thick. That's okay. If one comes off, but at least one will stay, right? All right, there's that one. And one more lemon lolly. Put that there. Okay, so there are those. The Calypso Coral, I'm also going to do just plain. And I'm going to add something when we do the berry burst. So Calypso Coral is going to go here and here. And like I said, I copied it right out of the catalog. I figure, you know what? They actually pay professional people to design things. So those are some pretty great samples. And I might as well use them also. Okay, there's that one. And this one, and I actually do have a second card to make for you that doesn't use the whole thing. I told Dave one card, but I have two. And this right there. All right, so there are those. And you could continue with plain flowers if you wanted to. Of course you could, right? Just continue with all the plain flowers. Just looking to make sure those are in the middle. But what we're going to do is, so these two don't need anything because I'm going to cover it with our sentiment, which this die also comes in this set. So I'm going to cover it with my sentiment. So I don't need those two. And then these three, I'm going to do berry burst. Let's get rid of the green ones. Lots of green because my background is green, right? So berry burst, such a fun color. I love this color. This green is my favorite color, but I do really like this berry burst. And we're actually going to die cut something to put on top of it. You wouldn't have to, right? You could just keep going. But I think this would be kind of fun because there's a little die. There's actually 3 of them. So we will die cut 3 at a time. And we are going to die cut some of the Highland Heather paper right here. I believe that, yeah, Highland Heather. And I just want to, because that is so fine, I am going to move my coffee cup, which says Mimi, move that over here so I don't spill. And I'm going to set all that aside for a second because we are going to use our adhesive sheets. These adhesive sheets are amazing for what we're going to do today.
Morning, Mary.
So 3 tulips will fit on this little piece. I don't need to do a whole thing. I just need this. Both sides are sticky of this little paper. Yeah,
I love using the adhesive sheets.
I know, it's great.
It's so much easier.
It does, especially that was not, usually I can pick it right off. Let's try again. So yes, the adhesive sheets are really, you know what? I bet there's a slit somewhere. Nope. There are slits in it. Let me just show you so that they make it easier to come off. Right here and right here, there's lines all the way down that you can peel it off. But when you're taking a little piece like this, there you go. Got it. Okay, there we go. That, I'm going to stick this on our, making sure the other side is nice and clean. I noticed last night as I was die cutting some things that my plate was dirty, and so it was getting that on the paper, which was not a fan of, obviously. Let's just pick that off.
You're going to punch tulips out of that?
I am. Oh yeah, sorry, I do want to leave them on. Thank you, love. Good call. Way to go, Dave. Yes, I'm going to punch.
Just checking.
Thank you. Just these little pieces. These little pieces to give just those 3 tulips a little bit more dimension.
A little more detail.
A little more detail. So, okay, I just want to, you know what, I'm just going to trim this so I make sure I use the part that I just put the adhesive on. I'm one too many. So we'll just put these on here, 1, 2, 3. And go ahead and run that through. Thank you, Dave. That would have not been the right thing to do.
That's what I thought you were doing. But
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
right.
All right. So these, and then also the paper comes off much easier now because you can see this little itty bitty piece. That's what I'm going to stick on. And certainly that would be very hard to add just a little bit of glue. So let's just get all 3 out. Did you know what that's what those little holes are for? Push out your die, or your paper rather. All right, so I've got those 3 out. Now we'll be able to peel this off very simply. Peel off our extra paper there. There we go.
Oh, just okay.
That's going to go on this tulip just to make it pop out. Certainly, I mean, it makes it so pretty. I probably would not want to do that for all the tulips. Like that's just a little bit too much. For me, you might like it, which is kind of funny because I'm really into these book nooks. They are itty bitty pieces and they're really fun to put together. So my grandson this morning, we were looking at my book nooks and he said, so how many do you need? And I just laughed. I said, well, how many Lego sets do you need? Because he smiled because he loves building Legos and he has lots of sets. So he kind of got it. All right. So these we're going to pop in the 3 spots where we're not stamping. So 1, 2, and 3. And we'll plop these in here. Just get a little bit more, like Dave said, a little bit more texture, a little bit more detail, just to make it kind of fun. Pop that in there. And you can see how you could do it either way. I could have glued this all the way down the background and then popped up the tulips. You could do it either way. Kind of fun this way though. I think the other one I have that I'm going to show you, I did the other way. We'll see. All right. So there is that. And I'm going to put on, we're going to stamp a little sentiment here. Once I think there is something that comes over here when I'm stamping and takes my things.
Sorry.
And it's not a child. All right, there's our paper. It's not in there.
What are we looking for?
I'm looking for my little, it looks like this. It's a little sentiment. There's some on the other table too, but I did cut one out for here. So just
under
kind
your
of,
pad?
I had it. Yep.
No, under the pad?
Under the pad. You just go grab me another one and we will pop it in there. It would make a nice shaker card. That'd be really fun. They're over on the table, love.
Yep.
What would I do without him? I should have put it in here because that piece I didn't lose. What on earth? As soon as we click off, then I find it. Literally, as soon as we click. All right. So we're gonna take our little sentiment. It's gonna sit right here. So I might need to just push my bow over. I might need to move my bow. I just want to leave the bow. So we'll just put that right there. Yep. All right. We are going to stamp in our berry burst.
Cheryl likes the detail on the tulips.
Me too. Woo, flying tulips. And I'm going to stamp, if we were friends, I'd pick you, which is true for each one of you. There we go. Nice. So teaching my 5-year-old how to stamp, she was pressing really hard in the ink and pressing really hard. I'm like, it's just a tap, 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 and it works fine. And I am going to pop this one up also. What? I heard something.
Hi, Trudy.
Oh, Trudy, I was wondering how you're doing. I haven't heard from you in a while. I want to make sure you're okay. All right. There we go. All right. So we're just going to stick this right over those 2 in the middle like that. And just fluff out our little, oopsie, stick them all the way on. Oh, you know what happened? That one fell in the hole. One of them went right in the hole. So I'm going to add a dimensional right here. So then I'm sure it will stay up and right there because that's where I have the first one.
I have no doubt, Trudy, you're always busy.
Yeah, no kidding. There we go. Just to make sure I get those get this where I want it to be. Oops. Because these went right in the tulip hole, and so then it wasn't popping up. So there we go. Much better. Just get it straight. There we are. Pull up our bow, our ribbon, whatever, up, down. There we go. Switch my bow this way. And how cute is that? How sweet is that? It's still crooked. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you and you'd love me too. There we go. Great little card. I did not use thick cardstock, and as soon as I opened it, this feels a little flimsy to me. So I would either put one more layer here or do what I'm going to do on the next card. I just like this when you open it to be thicker, but still really cute. I have some other cards, and I have one more card to make. So other cards to show you, but did you have something, Dave?
Of course.
Of course. Go ahead.
So, as you know, coming up is, sorry, I need to move something. Coming up is Super Stamping Weekend. Super Stamping Weekend is February 6th through the 7th. Now, you may be saying, why am I talking so much about it? Because the deadline to sign up is Monday. Super Stamping Weekend is our event that we do with our two demonstrator friends, Tracy and Amy. And this year, we have expanded it to 9 hours of Stampin' Fun. 9 hours, 3 hours Friday night. You will hear from each of our fabulous demonstrators, showing you one of the new suites or bundles from the online exclusives and the new mini catalog. Saturday morning, 3 more hours, one from each. And Saturday afternoon, our wrap up with 3 more hours. You will have 9 hours of demonstration, 9 separate make and takes, which when you register, you get all of your supplies to make those wonderful make and takes. So Super Stampin' Weekend coming up. Deadline is Monday. So as you know, go to the stamperstudio.com. Just realized you were maybe off a little bit. Scroll on down to Super Stampin' Weekend, click the green button, and you'll be taken right in to sign up and join us. I will say that right now we do offer an option that you don't get the party box. You just get the digital resources.
And yeah.
But no one is taking advantage of that because all of you know our party boxes are so much fun and you get all the make and takes. I mean, 9 make and takes when you sign up and get to participate. And don't worry if you cannot be there for all 9 hours. That's a long time. It's over 2 days, but everything is recorded. So after the fact, you can come back and watch whatever one you were not able to attend live. So Super Stampin' Weekend coming up with our demonstrators, coaches there for you, and we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks. All right. So for this next card, I am not going to use the whole piece of the tulips. I don't want to use the whole thing. I'm just going to use a piece of it. So we are going to use, I cut this down just a 1/4 inch here. So this is 5 1/4. And then this would be 8 total. So it's 4. So when you fold it, it's 4. So I'm going to stamp first, and then I'm going to end up sticking it right on here. But we are going to use just a little piece. I will show you a little piece of just a little piece of our tulips. I tried to cut them straight. I think this one's better. I cut 2 because I wasn't sure. I guess you could go all the way across. I wasn't sure. I'm just going to do 1.
Yep.
And I'm going to do it sideways, just like I had it. All right, so we're going to do that. And underneath here, I'm going to layer just a little bit of this. I have to cut it to make it straight. And then we're going to stamp a little bit to give it a little bit of a background. So let's get this to be a size that we would want. So I just snagged a little piece, and this is a very precise measurement. Do you see how I do that? Very precise. And it works great because look at, there we go. And then I'll just cut this side. I do try to go, if I'm actually measuring and making something, I try to go to a 1/4 inch so that I can, there we go. So I will tell you the measurements now that I cut it. This is, what do we got here? That's 2, so this is 1 1/2, and this is 4 1/4. So obviously you'd want to use it this way because 4 1/4 would go all the way across the edge the other way. All right, let's just double check that one more time. That looks great. All right, so on here, this is going to sit here, and I'm going to stamp a little border or a little background on one side. So let's grab that. In here, there are these cute little tulips. So we're going to make that into a background. Again, we're going to stamp off because I'm going to use the berry burst, and I want to make sure it's not too bold. I'll get everything in here. Oops, they're upside down. There we go. Let's see if we stamp off. This side has a smudge, so I'm just going to try it on this side just to see. Yeah, that's going to be a great color. I'm going to move this to the middle. If it's in the middle, you're less likely to get a line like that on either side because you're a little bit more balanced. So I'm going to move my stamping off pad, probably off the screen for you. You don't need to see that. Let's flip that over. Oh, I forgot that was my card. That's okay. This will go this way because that's going to glue down. We're all good. I was thinking it was a single sheet. Stamp off, and I'm going to go right to the edge, give it a little tulip, stamp off, and I'm going to just layer these one on top of the other, stamp off, and layer. You could do them purposely zigzaggy, which could be helpful if it's not going to be straight. I don't know. Or does it matter? I should have started zigzaggy, but I did not. And I should have spread them a little bit further out. I did not, but we're okay. We're just going to keep going where we are here and not be so particular. That's kind of hard to do. All right. But you could make a background, any kind of background here. And I'm going to open up this so I can stamp.
Sometimes use just a scrap piece of cardstock to use as my level to make sure I stamp level all the way up.
Well, that's so great, Dave. There we go. Sarcasm at its best. All right. So this little piece is going to go here. And looking at this, I'm like, oh, that would have been cute to have some of the Highland Heather in it too. But I'm going to grab my adhesive and just stick this on. And then we'll fill in our little tulips. Just the idea that you don't have to use all the tulips all the time. So let's go ahead. This time, I'm going to stick this one down, and then I'm going to pop up the tulips. But I am going to still, I really like that little bit of dimension of color. But I kind of want to see, this is the one I'm not using. Let's just see how that green looks on here. Because we might, I think I'm just going to use the same berry burst. The green looks sort of like brown. See that? I kind of swept it off. To me, it looks a little brown. So we're going to use berry burst. I'm going to stamp off for the edges. Yeah, I like that better. Stamp directly on and then go over here just to give it a little bit. I really like those leaves stamped. If you look closely in the catalog on that first card I made, you'll also notice that they cut these little leaves on some of them and stuck on leaves to give it a little bit more dimension. I'll show you that in a moment, but I am not going to do that. I did not do that, but it would be pretty. All right, so get some adhesive on here, and then we're going to pop up our tulips. And stick that there, like that. And I'm just going to use yellow. Wait, was I going to use yellow? I think so. Yes, I'm going to use the Lemon Lally tulips here. Just 3 Lemon Lally tulips. So these 3, we're going to put a little dimensional on the back and pop them up. Not doing anything fancy on them, although you could. Ooh, now that I'm thinking, I'm going to take the dimensional off because you know what? We could stamp, and maybe that would give it a little bit more dimension as well. Would you grab me Lemon Lolly ink?
Sure.
We're going to stamp the tulip on here, and that will give us a little bit, even a little bit more dimension, which would be nice. Take off the fronds and stick this. Here's what I was talking about on this one right here. You can see this one right here. They added some paper, and this one right here also added some paper. It's probably in a stamp set, perhaps.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. Well, wonder how it would look. I'm going to try it stamped in the berry burst. What would that look like? Let's try it and see. No worries. I'm going to stamp off twice. Ooh, ah. And I have lots more of these, so if I need to, I can change it. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't know. What do you think? Let's flip this one over and try just stamping off one time. Have you ever been to Pella, Iowa, to the tulip time? There's some funky ink on that. No?
On this.
All right. You found a marker. We'll see.
Couldn't find the pad. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not sure, but we're going to try it. You know, I'm always up for trying things. Let's just see if we can use, these are the markers that are going out, have gone out. Some are still available. I don't know. Hey. My tulip is not clean. So let's clean that. And then I'm going to do what Dave just did. That gave me. That just works fine. It works. You know, you figure out one time I was on a trip and I didn't have a block. So I used a Tupperware container.
Perfect block.
Somehow I lost all those comments again, but please don't worry about them.
How weird.
Yep. All right.
I think we might have to replace that monitor.
All right. So I'm going to color these. Really not made to color on these, but that's okay, right? It works.
Because you're just going for a little extra detail texture. So
Extra detail is correct.
it doesn't have to be perfect.
Well,
Please.
well, or does it, right? But we'll add a little bit of detail here. Whatever. I like things to be pretty close to perfect, which I'm learning. Yeah, it gives it just a little detail. That's fine. Just a little bit of color in there so that it doesn't look quite so plain, although plain could be fine too. All right, there's second one and third one. I just think they're really sweet. I like the tulips a lot. We'll see what happens here. Flip that one over. A little bit more on that one. Good. And I'm going to go back to the first one because it didn't pick up enough ink. And then I'm good. We'll stick them on. Well, let me know if anyone says anything because I can't see anything. So, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, I like those. Okay. I like that. Gives it a little bit of the dimension we were just talking about. But, and you know what? It's kind of funny because
Ready for the super stamping weekend.
They're not hearing that.
online, we don't often do this. We don't make mistakes, but that's how we figure things out, right? You try something, you're like, I like that, I don't like it. And that's exactly how you figure them out that, oh no, I think I'm gonna do this. Oh, so pretty. I love my little tulip. Oh, that's pretty. What do you guys think? I love it. Let's grab another one. I'm gonna get rid of those three that I didn't like. Because if you think about it, you're not going to, well, I don't think people are going to make it perfect the first time. Highly unlikely. So you got to try things. Sometimes they don't work out, and sometimes they do. All right, let's grab this last one right here. There, now I can see people again. Yeah, the party box is going to be amazing. All right, there's that. Okay, it's coming together nicely, I think. I'm going to go ahead and stamp let's look at our words that we have. I really like this good days ahead. I think I'm going to do that one. Good days. I kind of want something long. So I like that good days ahead. So we're going to stamp that in the berry burst while I close up my green. I don't want green. Take our berry burst and grab that good days ahead. This one is in script. Yes. Sometimes it's hard to read what they say, isn't it? Ah. Need this one, but I don't want to get my fingers all inky. So we're just going to clean that off. There we go. All right. Good days ahead. That's a good thing. It's a good motto. Good days ahead. It's on my block crooked, but that is okay. Because I'm going to stamp it straight. There we go. If you don't stamp it straight, you know what? You cover it up. So simple. All right, the last thing, why is that coming up? Last thing we need here is I'm going to use some of the baker's twine because that is the twine we have, right?
Yep.
And I was thinking there, but I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to use it. Oh, I still need to stick it on the other. Need to stick it on. So this is one of those, you can tell. You always can tell. This is one of those ideas that I had partially created in my head. And then when we started, then I'm like, oh, I would probably do that. I would probably do that. Just the way it is. My good days ahead is crooked. So I can show you easily how to fix that. I'm actually going to grab a piece of the Highland Heather. Yep, we'll just grab a little piece of this because I can see it's crooked. Can you see it's crooked? It's going down. Anyway, I'm going to, let's do one more thing and see how that looks. Because like I said, that's how you learn, right? So we're going to stamp this super close to the top. That's better. And take our paper cutter and trim it. Let's get that off at an angle and just trim this as far down as I can go. There. That looks great. And we can just pop this on there. I like that too. Yeah, either one looks good. What do you guys think?
Looks good.
Which one? Just
Yep.
plain.
I like both.
You like both. Good answer, Dave. I'm going to cut a tiny bit more off of that, and we're going to go to pop that up. Well, when things are crooked, you know, I kind of don't like it, so I'm going to cover it up. And I would probably choose vanilla, but since I don't have vanilla, I will just use a Highland Heather and stick that right there. Over as far as I can. There we go. Just thinking. Yep, I'm going to put it here. As low as I can. There we go. Nice. All right. You throw a couple gems on there, throw some twine on there, whatever you want. It would be, I think it's cute. Just another way to use the tulip plate. So let me show you a couple other cards that are made with this stamp set. So we did make this one right here. How pretty is that? Love that. Love that. Don't put that next to that. But here's this one. This is one of the first ones I made where I didn't really think about the fact that I could stamp that or stamp that. So I love it. I think it's still really pretty. This comes in the Easter Sweet, that little gingham. But I also really like, first off, I like the colors. These are more Eastery. These are just like spring. But I really like the different dimensions and that the leaves are stamped. It adds quite a bit. I think it adds quite a bit.
For sure.
And then this one, this is the Easter paper, obviously, using our Summer Splash and then Pretty in Pink. And this tulip, I die cut it in pink. I stamped it in Pretty in Pink. And then I put this little layer on the top. And that's when I was like, ooh, that makes a big difference. So I don't think I stamped. Oh, I did. Stamp something inside. There we are. That's another cute way to use those little tulips. So that's what I have for you, friends. That is what I have. All different ways, fun ways to use these cards or use this plate, which is a big plate. All right, it's Saturday. Hopefully you have some fun plans today because I just wanted to see what it said. You like them both too. Yeah. Hope you have some fun plans today. We're thinking about going to Stillwater. There's snow castles or snow carvings. I went to the snow festival in Sapporo, Japan, and there were literally building size snow carvings, like building size, like capital, state capital. So that was pretty exciting. I don't think these are quite that same scale, but the detail is amazing. So that's what we're thinking about doing. I think that'd be really fun. All right, you guys have a great weekend. I will see you on a Monday. Until then, happy stamping.
Get ready for the Super Stamping Weekend. It's all happening February 6th and 7th. Your creativity coaches are bringing you 9 hours of demos, techniques, prizes, and make and takes. Unleash your creativity with 9 brand new products. Catch us live Friday, February 6th from 7 to 10 p.m. Central and Saturday, February 7th from 9 a.m. to noon and 1 to 4 p.m. Central. Get the full experience with a party box filled with goodies and supplies for 9 make and takes for $75. Or go digital for just $50. Don't wait. Register by January 19th at superstampingweekend.com to score big.
Saturday in the studio, come on in. Lisa and Dave, let the fun begin. Grab your stamps, your paper, your glue. We've got crafty inspiration just for you. Colors and layers, memories to keep. Laughing and creating joy runs deep. Cards and pages made with heart. Let's make some magic.